here we are. Here we are. As you know, I am a giant JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan. Okay? The trailer just dropped like an hour ago. I'm watching it now. Let's do it. I'm so excited. Oof. First shot. First shot. That American flag. Here we go. Look at Johnny. Look at Johnny. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. I didn't know they were gonna, I didn't know they was gonna edit that. I didn't know they was gonna edit that in there. Oh. The former genius jockey, man. But he gonna figure out a way though. The GOAT. Look at his teeth. Gyro. Gyro. Oh my god, it looks so good. Yo. The GOAT. The GOAT said, with my legs alone, I'm going to run across the country. Rohan would have trouble with this guy. Is Rohan in part 8? Is he? I don't know. Is Rohan in part 8? I'm not sure. He's in part 9. Big. Okay. We got some black representation here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. They have bigger lips than usual, but to be fair, genetically, I guess we do have. I guess. But at the same time, you didn't have to do that. That wasn't a decision you had to make. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like, I don't know. That's better than what most manga be doing when it comes to black characters. Jeez, like an actual black character, forget about it. But at least Araki is trying. You know what I'm saying? It's the money of white people. That's real. Other than the big ass lips, the black guy looks like a black guy. He looks normal. I actually appreciate that a lot. He just has big ass normal lips. They're not like big and pink or big and red. They're just bigger lips than normal, which I appreciate. It's a step in the right direction. But he looks good though. I like this. I like his little. Oh my god. Oh my god, it looks so good. I'm actually this is very much part 6, the art style from part 6 definitely has a big influence here. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan, but I understand why they're. I understand why like the quality of these characters aren't as detailed as it was in like part 3 or 4, right? Because or 5 for that matter. Part 6, that's when they started to like smooth out some of the uh, art style, Araki's art style anyway. You could argue that it was because they were drawing Jolene and they didn't want to have to keep drawing all the detailed parts of Jolene, but like, I don't know. That's just headcanon. But they just kept doing it. It was like, you know what? It's working. It you know. One more on style. Hell yeah. That's right, Gyro. Gyro looks so good. Oh my goodness. This. What's up, Nina? It's like I get, like I understand, but man, I feel like as long as it doesn't. Here's the problem. Here's my issue with this art style. Real quick, and then we'll keep finishing the trailer. With this art style, my issue is that I hope that the did you just start? I started it 6 minutes ago, so yes, I did. I hope that in the future, for the future manga, I mean the future anime, I hope that they don't make it even more simpler of an art design. I hope they make it. I hope, because I think Araki kind of like got more simplified as he got older when he started drawing. So when he was drawing, he's still drawing, but as he draws, right? Like he just put out, I think, a new chapter of JoJo Lands. I haven't finished that manga yet, but yeah. Johnny looks good, man. March 19th. I hate that this is on Netflix, man. I hate this on Netflix, dude. It's so dumb. Ugh. Do you like Netflix? Not really, no. I thought they were cool when they first started as a company, and then they just got worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, yo, what? Hello? Are we not seeing this right now? Like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure being locked behind Netflix pisses me off, bro. Like, honestly. Like why is, like, why JoJo's? Why of all anime did you decide to take JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Like, you could have took. I would have been fine if you was like, you know what? We're gonna take Solo Leveling. We're gonna take the manhwa anime. We're gonna take stuff like God of High School. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna take stuff like what's the other anime that's really popular? Fuck it. I'll even let them have JJK. I'm not even gonna, I'll let them have JJK. You know what? You can have JJK. Okay, Gege Akatami is already bad enough at releasing manga. So, like, at this point, they're a fit made in heaven, okay? And I understand why. Like, it's just like, dude, I'd rather JJK be stuck behind this than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is just disrespectful to JoJo's, in my opinion. Like, how dare you? Like, how? Why, man? Why does Netflix have to, like, ugh? Netflix pisses me off, man. They just like y'all don't know how to release anime, and that's the thing. They were doing this. It would have been cool if they didn't have horrible uploading schedules. Why did you feel the need to release part 6 like so slow? All you had to do was release part 6 weekly. That's all you had to do, like a normal goddamn TV show. However, they don't do this with other TV shows. They do this with other TV shows. That's what I meant to say. They do this with other TV shows. So it's not just JoJo's. But the problem is that I think anime is in a unique situation where like the fans of anime are much more used to weekly than I think the fans of like live action TV shows. I don't know. I don't know. Theory. I'm theory crafting here, but like you get the point, right? I think people in anime are much more used to the weekly idea. So like when it's not happening, then we get upset because it's like this is the whole point. We are waiting weekly because we want to talk about it weekly. We want to talk about the show that's happening currently. Why do you want to release everything? That's why Disney Plus is making the dumbest decision ever by releasing Wonder Man and releasing that show all 8 episodes immediately when it drops. They did this for Ironheart. I'm not gonna get in. Let me not get into MCU, bro. Let me not get into Disney Plus, bro. Don't get me started on Disney Plus. I can't watch shows anymore. It's because of focus. Because of focus, like you may watch a show and get distracted on your phone. Fair enough. I can see that. I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure would be way more popular if it wasn't locked behind Netflix. It'd be way bigger. It'd be way bigger. I promise you. Let me be a Twitter person real quick. I need to get off. I really should actually, but I just can't help it, man. Oh, yeah. Do you play Fortnite? I have. I don't currently play it right now, but ooh, Vector Kids. I love you. Oh my god, I love you. Do you play? This guy looks cool. I love Fortnite. Fortnite's fun, man. Fortnite is fun. You make music videos? DP Call of Duty. What? Do you play Call of Duty? Oh. I have before. Does that count? Ding, 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 ding. This guy looks so retro. I love that he looks like this. I love this guy. He has this perfect vibe. I love this nostalgic vibe. Cool, man. You're such a cool dude, man. Maybe, maybe not. Man, I can't believe they're actually doing it, bro. Part 7 is real, dude. This is wild to me. Say, I like your hat. Thank you. I like my hat too. Appreciate ya. Thank you, thank you. I've learned to appreciate the color pink over the years. Cause I like purple, and pink is just another shade of purple. If we're being real, and if we're being really real, blue is also another shade of purple. And I grew and I when I was young I used to really like blue, and then it changed to purple as I got older. Gives gives more style for me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Two things from Delroy.
Delroy. Him saying Delroy just um made me happy. I don't know why. Low key. Hi. What's up, Levi? What bars? Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Huh. Me too. White people always get to fail upwards. Jeez. Guess they can. Had happy birthday, Levi. How you doing? How old are you, man? How you feeling? That's a lot of questions. You don't have to answer all of them. Answer what you want. Man, man, don't get me started. Um, you're 8 and you're online. You need to get off the phone. What you need to do is go do your homework. Poco Loco. Poco Loco. The GOAT. 11. Oh, God damn it. Bro. Man. Avatar 5. 2031. God. Damn. So what's going on? Damn. Oh yeah, y'all for break, huh? These are really good. Holy shit. I'm not playing anything right now. I'm just on Twitter. X. Kokonista. Are you good? Chilling. Alright, what's next for Capcom? Capcom. Capcom. Cap. Um. Capcom's gonna make another fighting game? Come on, bro. You got a PS5. I don't. I do not actually. I'm not that big of a Sony person, to be honest with you. But to be fair, at this point, it really doesn't matter.
We know where Marvel's going. Here's this thought process that's been going through my head right now. Because
You're nice. You said I'm nice. Thank you. Everybody should be nice to each other. Everybody should be. You should carry that with you for as long as you can. Work towards actually caring about other people. Helping them out. You know what I'm saying? Giving them something to, be nice. It's okay. I think, if y'all want to learn, if y'all care at all to learn anything from somebody who is well above your age, I'll tell you this. Life happens, which means because life happens, you know what I'm saying? Just live the way that you want to live, live how you want to do it. Don't let other people push you to make a decision that you don't want to make. I'll be real with you. If you don't want to make that decision, then don't make the decision. Okay? Unless, if it's life or death. Trust your parents. Do trust your parents. However, if it's life, you know what I'm saying? Y'all aren't dumb. Y'all know. How you go live? I don't think y'all own enough. What's up, Rose? Peer pressure? It is. It is peer pressure, and your parents can and your parents can peer pressure you. Your friends can peer pressure you. You can even peer pressure yourself, low key. It's not called peer pressure, but it can happen. It can happen. So just be aware, of how the environment is working. You know what I'm saying? You're much better off I think you're better off watching and understanding how people work before you make a decision. Watch people. Just be you know what? I'm just gonna sit back. How does this person act? I'm curious. Sometimes you gotta be curious. Just be I'm curious how this person is acting right now. Do I want to be around that person because they act that way? That's a question you gotta ask yourself. I'm chilling too, bro. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 is coming out next year. Anime of the year. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing else. Anime of the year. Okay. Anime of the year. And nobody else touching JoJo's. I'm sorry. And it sucks because it's they locked it behind Netflix, and it's Netflix just ruined the potential, the aura potential that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has. Is just you ruined it, Netflix. You ruined it. The aura that Jolene had, you ruined it. Ah! I don't know about that one. What you mean? What you mean? There's no other anime that's coming out that's even close to touching JoJo's. What else do we got? Tell me. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, buddy. Okay. I'm gonna leave. Don't try me. Don't piss me off. You know what upsets me about the fact that I just said that? It's about the fact that I didn't start saying that until a certain someone started saying it around me. And now I can't stop saying it. She knows who she is too. She's not watching this. But in the future, if she was to come back and watch one of these, I'm talking about you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. It's your fault I say that. be fair, I have told her this before. So
Usually Capcom just doesn't sit on one thing and just do one thing. Historically, they're working on multiple projects in the background at some point. Like, that's just happening.
yeah,
So in my
Capcom
head,
loves to
I'm
work on a
looking
lot
at the
of shit.
possibilities. Street Fighter isn't going to be the only Capcom game that's a fighting game.
Well, what other game could Capcom be possibly making? They're already making Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying?
That they want to likely produce. And clearly, Street Fighter did very well. It's definitely going to make it a lot easier for similar governing bodies that were responsible for all the success in Capcom's latest
You can see me?
division.
Of course, I can see everybody. There's nobody on this planet that I can't see. Let's be real.
Street Fighter 6 is doing,
But don't tell me
it's
about
honestly
this
doing
like that.
crazy, the legs that game has. And it's still not nearly as discounted as games like Street Fighter 5 was at the time. Street Fighter 5 was much cheaper, dude. Like, that game was going down to $15 within a 2-year time span after its release. They were trying to get you to buy that shit. So 6 is still at least $30 even on sales. So my brain just starts thinking, it's already been 2 years. We're getting closer to 3 years that the game has existed. What are the possibilities? The first one that I
So
thought
what I'm
was
doing,
pretty
you're watching
obvious
me,
after
obviously.
the collection and all the subsequent merchandise and
You can't ask what I'm doing, because the obvious answer is that you're watching me.
all this kind of stuff, the hope of a new tomorrow type of shit with Marvel vs. Capcom. Before a fateful state of play in June of 2025, I thought that was all but a guarantee. Now it's not. We went from there being a 1 in 14,605,000 chance of the game happening to now an actual reality. Like, no, dude, this we could be in that one universe. This is it. Now we're back to square one. Like, we are 100%
I mean,
back to
Tokon looks
square
really
one
good, man.
On the hopeful NBC future. If there is a future,
I'm just
Marvel
curious
vs.
about,
Capcom,
like, how the game is
brand
gonna
new game,
play,
an actual brand new game, dude,
like,
that is going to take
casually.
such a long period of time. Like, Tokon needs to be out and exist and find its success, which it will. It'll be successful.
Besides
It needs to be
that,
a
laying
thing
down.
that is clearly
Why
different than NBC,
do you
which
want me to
is
answer that question?
have its audience
I don't
and
care
continue to
that
thrive in
much.
some way. Like, that just needs to be a
You know
thing
what I'm
that
saying?
exists, right? So with that being
I
said, it's gonna take a very long
can
time
see
to get it
everybody.
out.
But when I say I can see everybody, I'm not saying it in the way that you would think that I'm saying it. I'm saying it in a different way that I can see everybody. It's a different way of seeing. I promise you, it's not the normal way of seeing. It's a different, higher tier level of seeing. You won't understand it until you're older. I promise you that. But trust me when I tell you this, I can see everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you can see everybody too if you just lock in and really meditate on that stuff. You know, like if we're being real. Try meditation. I want everybody who watches this, go ahead and just sit down for a little bit and try meditation. Meditation is life-changing sometimes. Just sit down and observe yourself. You ever done that before? Just observe your own brain. Just how your own brain works is fascinating. Because you said that you see me. I do. I see it. I do. I see everybody. I see you. But I'm not seeing you in the way that you think I'm seeing you. Not in a normal, traditional way. No. I see everybody in a different way. I'm scared. Why are you scared? I've tried, but it's too hard. There's nothing to be like. There's no skill. There's nothing there. All you gotta do is just sit there and observe your brain, and just listen to your brain think. You're gonna think of things. You're gonna hear things. You might hear. Well, if you hear things, you might have to go to a doctor for that one. But you're going to. You know what I'm saying? Try to go live. Oh, all right, bye. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be thinking things, and when you're thinking things, you gotta observe what you're thinking. Do you want to think that thought at that moment? Really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really focus on that idea. Do you want to think this exact thought at this exact moment? Because if you don't, it's gonna think a thought that you don't want it to think. Or it's going to do a thing you don't want it to do. You want to be in 100% control of your body at all times, at all moments. Almost. It's because it's not really possible. It takes a whole lifetime to really do that, which is why it's a lifelong journey. I want to reach enlightenment and all that, though. Exactly. It's a lifelong journey. It's one of those things where like your journey doesn't end until you're like dead. You know what I'm saying? Like your human journey, like your enlightenment journey doesn't end until you're dead. And even then doesn't end. In my opinion, even then your enlightenment journey doesn't even end when you're dead. When you die, you reincarnate and you still go through some karmic cycles, you still go through certain things. Like the energy doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy can't go anywhere. It can't just disappear. Energy has to go from somewhere to somewhere else, which means that when you die, the energy in your body has to go somewhere else, which means it has to go to the. This is giving me a really cool idea, actually. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Okay, but yeah, you get the point, right? Like energy dissipates. It doesn't disappear. It dissipates. Go live. I'm trying to I can't be created, destroyed. It just changes form. Facts. But it doesn't mean that you rush the ending of your life. You take time to just enjoy yourself. Just enjoy the moment you have right now today. Like at the end of the day, like really. Like you need to like most people deserve most people need to be able to learn gratefulness in the moment, right? That's how you override any negative social like learning. All right, see you, Nina. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Um, do your homework. Um, like I don't know. It's fascinating. You know, you get the point. It's just like
for MVC to even do anything, for it to exist in any fashion with a 4 or whatever. So you have to start
trying to figure out how do I want to do this. Cause what I could do is like ooh, okay, hold on. I'm thinking countries. Here we go. Okay. I think sorry, hold on. Sorry. I'm over here being a writer. Hold on, I gotta nerd out real quick on my own universe. Man, I have so many ideas. This universe that I'm creating is the biggest. This is the biggest endeavor I've ever done, and I mean, I'm only 26, so like, technically, my endeavors are going to be bigger in the future. But like, the point I'm making right now is that this is the biggest. This is one of the biggest like creative projects I've ever done in my 26 years of life, and I've been writing it for like 6 years now. Six. Sorry. No, it was probably like 5, 6 years actually. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, best of luck. Thank you. Appreciate that. Some dedication. Yeah, it is. I am dedicated to my my stories, my makeup. No, I don't want that. I wanted like, nah, I don't know. I think I did that wrong. Anyway, yeah, I've been doing it for a while, and I'm just like, my thing is I'm in school right now for like filmmaking. So like, but I might change it. I might change my major, eventually, probably next year. I might change it to something else, more interesting or something more mentally intriguing for me. Especially as I'm writing this universe, I want to be able to like, I gotta learn how certain systems work. You know what I'm saying? Especially like historically, I'm trying to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to like, you know how Lovecraft, we all have, we know Lovecraft. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a genius, a really not genius. I think it's a really cool thing. I don't know if the history behind Lovecraft is unique, not unique. The history behind, I'm trying to like, there's a lot in my brain when it come when I thought of Lovecraft, my brain just went in like a million different directions. So I'm trying to say all of them at the same time. But I'm like, hold on. So Lovecraft, okay. Lovecraft is not the greatest person. His art, his creative endeavors are awesome. I love him dearly. But at the same time, he was also a racist. So and he was also like other shit too. I remember, but like the one main one is that he just didn't like black people, and it's like, yikes, yikers. Anyway, creatively though, yeah, I like what he did creatively. Um, so if I can find out a way to do that for myself and for my, you know, my generation, there's gonna be somebody, there's gonna be some writer in Gen Z who's gonna be like basically like on par, if not bigger, than like sci-fi writers that we grew up with, right? And then we have to think about the idea that like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like, especially as a black individual in America? Like, what does that really look like? It can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I have my crazy ideas. I just know other niggas got their crazy ideas that would be crazy to see on screen. I love us, man.
Hey, chances of Marvel
I love
vs.
humans.
Capcom went down the drain. In the next few years, like possibly year or two, we're gonna have to get another Capcom fighting game announcement, straight up. I don't know at what point it could happen, but I definitely feel like it's already very late. Considering Street Fighter 6's success, it already is really late. That game had a great first-year sales. You would be surprised if they didn't immediately jump on board with another fighting game in production in some way, but who knows? Things just take a long time at Capcom. We don't even have to Omicron 7 yet, or 6. Damn, we should be at 7. So what is possible? Most likely thing in my brain as someone that has been staring at this shit and studying this shit for the longest period of time, the number one most likely thing that has a future is the next Capcom versus SNK. That one has now jumped to the top, straight up. CBS 3 and the amount of equity that SNK has,
Yeah,
the amount
SNK.
of stuff that Capcom has
Yeah.
learned, the kind
They
of
can definitely do
teasing
that.
of all of it happening from the SNK side.
They're
Capcom
gonna
characters
they're gonna do Street Fighter versus SNK next. Oh my god, that might be fire. Hold up. Oh my god.
Whoever's behind the scenes is making sweet love and making out all over the place. It's like, dang, dude, SNK and Capcom need to get a room. They're up to things. Just put a ring on it already, guys.
They just love each other so much right now.
Come on. So anyway, we get a whole bunch of SNK stuff in Capcom. Capcom gets a whole bunch of SNK stuff in Fatal Fury. The clear path and route for this is a Capcom versus SNK. It's the most likely thing. And if there's anything out there, I used to think that FBC4 is probably going to be a thing first. That's not happening anymore. The Capcom versus SNK 3 draw, like the chances of getting a good draw, this is very high. Like it's really high. And I think anytime in between the next year to year after that, I wouldn't even be surprised if it happened after all these Capcom games come out. I wouldn't even be surprised if by the time, June of next year, we get an announcement of some kind. Like that would make sense. That a Capcom versus SNK announcement could be a thing. Who's making it? That's a good question. I think Capcom's making it. Just straight up. I would prefer SNK to do it, and I think SNK has done an incredible job with like Ken and Chun. But SNK has a lot of money. I just personally see that they would want to emulate the success that they have had back in the day with the CBS series, and unfortunately Capcom is the one that usually has had historically the most success in crossing over these characters, just in general. But it could be like a joint operation. They can do some interesting shit like that. They can make it together, like who knows?
Bro,
there could be some weird thing that they try to do. All I'm saying is that CBS 3, it seems like it's the most likely, which I think would be genuinely effing cool. I want to see Capcom.
Bro, Mai looks so good in Street Fighter 6. It actually pisses me off. I'm like, how dare you look this good?
There was a lot of Fatal Fury stuff and Just Defending and all that kind of stuff in the groove system, but it, like, you played a 3v3 game if you wanted to, man. Ratio system aside, you were playing practically Capcom KOF, and that's fun, man. Like, that's really, I want to see Capcom characters short hopping and shit like it's MVCI again, dude. Let them do it. Sprites versus 3D models. You are never getting
That'd be insane.
a sprite-based Capcom game ever.
Bro, a sprite-based Capcom game would be, oh my god, that'd be peak.
Again, they're too smart for that. I hate to tell you that, I hate that.
That would look so cool.
As much as I want
like in modern graphics.
I wish that was a thing. They just won't do it. Sprites are number one expensive, hard to do. There's not as much expertise for them anymore, and the chance is less. What about Ghosts and Goblin? Ghosts and Goblins wasn't sprite-based. These are all 3D models, and they are just animated to look like puppets. If the CBS is the most likely, and Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is not happening. So, a few other franchises that are clear. Number one is Darkstalkers. I think the next most likely thing that could happen.
They could have a Darkstalkers game.
Darkstalkers situation.
They could have a Darkstalkers game for sure.
There's all the financial kind of overhead that happens with Vampire Saviors or Darkstalkers of making it an appealing game. And there's been so much of not turning it into something new for such a long period of time that getting that information at a high level to approve a game could prove to be very challenging. Of just, okay, so if we're going to budget a Darkstalkers game, how does that work out? Like, what can you actually pull from to get approval of something that's going to cost you, what, $40 to $50 million to make? Have it sell in similar fashion to, like, a lower Capcom game, like a Mega Man 11 or something like that. Like, that would be rough. Darkstalkers seems like an unlikelihood, but also the next most likely thing. And then you have other things, like Power Stone, Project Justice. It has to be low budget, yeah. You're saying something that I'm echoing. I think Darkstalkers, Project Justice, and Rival Schools, pretty much like the last few Capcom sort of IPs and franchises that could maybe find success. I don't know if they could find that success in anything that costs over $30 or $39.99, and that's like the rough part.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the chance for those games actually finding
the
their
sprite
audience
shit would be so fire.
comes from like collections and shit, which they did. Like they actually did that, and the way that they have done them was really good. Do you see Capcom outsourcing any of these IPs? If this was 10 years ago, 100%. The issue is that this is public information. Capcom's building another entire building in Japan. They're going to have 3 buildings, like top to bottom buildings, in Japan, full of developers making games. Over the past few years, and especially after what happened with RE3 and stuff, Capcom does everything in-house now. Everything.
Yeah,
it's
might as
hard
well.
to get Capcom to produce anything that isn't like a big full-price mega game. And honestly, Mega Man 12 is the first one we've seen in a while. Like the actual first time we've seen a game that this clearly is not going to be a $59.99, $69.99 Mega Man game. There's going to be something closer to what Mega Man 11 is. A reminder, Kunitsugami came out at full price. That being said, I started to think more about it, and the chance of any of those games coming back, I think, is nearly zero. So the ones that had a chance, the highest chance was MVC4, gone now. The next one was an eventual Capcom versus SNK. That makes the most sense. Doing a Street Fighter Alpha, which other people have said, doesn't really make sense nowadays to split the audience up between the franchise from one to the other.
Yeah,
Capcom versus
the
Capcom
Alpha is
not
too.
viable. The last few games we talked about was
Oh, a new Power Stone? I think that'd be cool. Oh, a modern Power Stone would fucking eat, dude. Wait a minute.
Project Justice, Rival Schools. Here's all of these games with these amazing characters and shit. And the one thing that we're not considering is the thing that like a lot of people have said for a long time, which is like the hope of what could this be in the future. The thing that we complained about, we literally talked to a bunch of Capcom people back in like the 2012, when it was clear that Ultimate Marvel 3 was done. are the chances of them being like a brand new, like just Capcom game? Like Capcom Fighting Jam existed. There's been Capcom Fighting All-Stars things that happened in the past that never came out. Is there any possibility of just like a big Capcom game? Like an All-Stars 2? I don't know. We've jokingly said Capcom versus Capcom for a long time. To me, that seems like also a high likelihood. I think the 3 games that could potentially come out that are Capcom Fighting games in like the next 2 years. Or either announcement in the next 2 years or actually comes out. A brand new Capcom versus SNK.
JoJo Fridays? Oh my god.
Like an actual Capcom versus Capcom situation. What's happened now, and here's an interesting thing to think about. They have such a wild selection of IP to work with. Here's what's crazy about that. The amount of IP that Capcom has to work with now, people like these characters more than they did in like Marvel 3. Like the power of Capcom IP is exponentially greater than it was even back when the big Marvel versus Capcom games were happening and shit. Like, no kidding. Back when MVC2, MVC3 was a thing,
I couldn't
Capcom
do
wasn't
it.
doing nearly
Do
as
what?
good. If there was an opportunity for things to exist in the future, which is what we've been saying for years, like talking about a potential Capcom versus Capcom moment, then yeah, like that feels like maybe they don't need Marvel. We talk about Capcom versus Square Enix, but you have to start asking those questions. Like, what does Capcom cross over with that makes actual
greatest
sense?
legs.
Like, what do they cross over with?
You mean live tomorrow?
Combat is honestly not a bad idea.
I might.
That's probably the next thing that you could see that could reach into that level of success, but those IPs don't collide in a way that makes any sense. Capcom versus Sega makes a ton of sense. Capcom versus Arc System Works could be really friggin' cool. But at the same point, it's like, I almost ask the question, does modern Capcom need to? And the more this is what I've been sitting on as we've been talking about this shit for the longest time. Dude, I don't think Capcom needs it anymore, man. Like, I truly feel that at this point, with the power of Capcom on IP and how good they're doing and everything, and how many characters and games they have that people just find beloved, they can fill half of a roster of some launching game that potentially just could be Capcom IPs, and it would be all the popular shit. It'd be all the mega popular Resident Evil characters and Capcom characters and all that shit. And then you can have the other half be all the fucking weirdos. Asura's Wrath and a whole bunch of Darkstalkers and a whole bunch of like Street Fighter characters would obviously be on the top because they're big and popular. With that being said, we've already seen them somewhat do this at the end of Street Fighter 5 and now a little bit with Street Fighter 6. They're reaching out to SNK to get SNK characters, and Street Fighter 5 was like, hey, maybe we can actually use a rival schools character.
These fists were fire, dude.
With something else that wasn't Final Fight, which Final Fight and Street Fighter are like connected at the hip. They reached over with something that wasn't Final Fight, and it was
Yo,
like,
these are so good.
A rival schools character into Street Fighter 5. How well received was that? Very well received. In fact, people were very much into the fact that Akira was added to SF5. It was probably one of the things that greatly benefited the end of Street Fighter 5's lifespan as being a very good fighting game at this point. I do feel that the likelihood of that happening anytime soon is still risky. It's still risky. It's less risky than obviously releasing individual Darkstalkers, Power Stone, any of that kind of stuff. But it's been a long time now, dude. Like, that's the only reason I'm thinking about this stuff. Now that the clear path of like the next MVC, nearly zero. Chances of Capcom vs SNK 3, pretty good. That's looking most likely right now. And then the next chances, which is not entirely at zero, but seems a little bit more risky, which is big Capcom IP fighter. Because why does Capcom even need to work into all these IPs? Do they even need to reach into the pockets of Square and Marvel and Sega? Like, do they need that now? The more I think about it, the more I think they don't.
Okay, Raven.
Plenty of goddamn characters. They can make their own wild-ass Smash Brothers game. And that's my hope, where it's like, dude, if it isn't a Marvel vs. Capcom, then what do? We know what a CBS would be like. We know what an NBC would be like. If they do their own
Forget
franchise
yourself.
game, how the hell does that play? All I gotta say is that I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to 2026. And possibly 2027. Ain't no way you have as much success as you have with Street Fighter 6.
This nigga yapping, bro. I'm not listening to him. I literally have not been listening. I've retained nothing. I apologize. Bro, there's nothing to watch, man. Fuck. Chat, what do I watch, man? Kidney toast. What if it's good though?
Everybody loves a ribeye or a porterhouse, but these are just one piece of muscle on a 1,500-pound cow. So what happens to the rest of them? Do they just get thrown out as garbage? How much food are we wasting? I don't want to know. Today we're gonna
It's too much.
test out
Trust me, it's too
recipes
much.
utilizing the least popular cuts of beef, ranging from a regular tom taco all the way to living life as a hyena.
Tongue taco.
Testicles. This is what a testicle looks like. I forbid you guys from commenting that I'm good at handling this. Testing recipe right. Fully embracing the traditional culinary philosophy of eating from nose to tail. Just like my personal philosophy that my subscribers are beautiful head to toe. Oxtail was once a butcher's waste, but now a treasured cut in stews of international cuisines. The only thing to keep in mind is to cook it for long enough to break down the structure. This recipe is about to be easy. First step of the oxtail recipe, according to the Jamaican grandma, is to clean it with vinegar and water.
That Jamaican grandma is real as fuck.
Because I don't know why we soak with vinegar. Sugar thoroughly, quarter cup of brown sugar, soy sauce, about a tablespoon, that sauce, garlic powder, black pepper, finally allspice. Never used this one either. Learning about a lot of spice mix today.
You didn't know about allspice?
Last ingredient they called for browning. I have no idea what that is. So here I have some.
Yeah, it's white. He's white as hell. That's crazy. You don't know allspice? It's allspice.
My roommate doesn't know how to fill oil. Try not to make it too hot because the oxtails are really wet from the marination. I'm just gonna smell oxtail. Last ingredient they call what's in all? But with vinegar. Wash it very thoroughly. Quarter cup of brown sugar, soy sauce, about a tablespoon, that sauce, garlic powder, black pepper, finally allspice. Never used this one either. Learning about a lot of spice mix today. What's in allspice? Last ingredient they called for browning. I have no idea what that is. But here I have some Japanese demi-glace. Yeah, rub it in. My roommate doesn't know how to fill oil. Try not to make it too hot because the oxtails are really wet from the marination. I'm just gonna smell it's already good. I'll eat it if it's cooked. 2 whole carrots, 1 onion, 4 scallions, 1 Scotch bonnet to give it the heat. The key to Jamaican cuisine. Back in our oxtail. The recipe asks us to put in the Instant Pot for 45 minutes. I don't have one. The ones that come to a simmer, we'll just close the lid and put in the oven for 3 times that, which would be about 2.5, 3 hours. God damn. 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to thicken. Against my will, we're gonna ruin this whole stew by adding in a can of butter beans. If it was up to me, this will never happen. I think this is it.
Oh, he doesn't like butter beans.
Jamaican oxtail stew.
Butter beans are good. I like butter beans, but I get it. It's not for
Falling
everybody.
off the bone, huh? You can really taste the brown sugar. I definitely messed up by under-braising it. This reminds me of the oxtail stew we had at Melba's. Man, just talking about it makes me salivate. It was the best I've ever had. This bowl I just made reminds me of that, not because of similarities, but because how much it sucks. The meat is too tough. I feel like a barbarian trying to chew on leftover bones before a pack of wolves come and attack me. And honestly, it's a little too sweet. With the texture and flavor both lacking, I have to give it a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the suet, the fat from the kidney. It sounds kind of strange, so how come it's the second one of the day? I discovered that the rendered suet is just tallow. It's the most popular in British homes, especially in the winter. Essential for pies and puddings, cooked into stews instead of butter for that extra fatty flavor. Fun fact, it's even used for moisturizers and candles. Wow, Hailey Bieber better get this into Sephora.
Not Haley. Ugh,
This is so gross.
this is
What the
insane.
cross section look like? This is like really satisfying to cut. It's almost like knife through butter.
It is
Toss
fat.
everything into a pot. Let the stove on medium high. We'll put in about a cup of water. It's gonna control the temperature. It'll make it render the fat out
What's that?
more slowly.
Apparently, people prefer the suet tallow over other areas because the kidney fat stores the most fat-soluble flavor molecules. In other words, it tastes more beefy than intermuscular fat. It can not only enhance meat, but also enrich desserts.
At this stage, it starts randomly exploding. I'm gonna keep me like that. I'm gonna keep myself away from it so I don't go to the ER again. It's pretty much all
The
solidified,
ER.
because the oil started smoking, so I feel like I shouldn't reduce any further. The recipe says we need to strain it through a cheesecloth or like a t-shirt or something. I figured since all the solid's gonna go to the bottom anyways, we'll just, take from the top. An overweight 50-year-old dad will call liquid gold. Check out this crispy bit. It's like a bad piece of bacon. For the remaining dishes of the video that involves oil, we'll be using the tallow from the suet. This will be the liquid gold for this episode.
The beef tongue is either unused or adored by world cuisines. In Jewish delis in New York, they're smoked and sliced thin for sandwiches.
That's a lot of tongue!
In Japan,
That's a lot of
grilled
tongue.
or charcoal. And today we're in Mexico making taco de lengua because I like my tongue in a taco. I'm filling this taco with my tongue. I put my tongue all over this taco.
Please stop. Look at that tongue, bro.
It does look more like a foot than a tongue. Like, what are these little pellets? It's tricky.
I don't know if we want to watch this, bro.
Teaspoon of marjoram. I've actually never used it. Common spice in Greek cuisine. Mostly oregano, I think. Teaspoon of thyme. Teaspoon of oregano. So marjoram again.
Stuffing the tongues, I'm whipping out my
Bro. Wake up, dead man. The Thundermans has another TV show? The Thanger. The Thanger. Let's finish Pluribus. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh, wait, hold on. Pirate Lady. Please, Carol. Which one was I on? I forgot. Hello? Why are you allowing pop-ups? Don't do that. Oh my god. Please be aggressive. Uh-oh. I can't do that. What the hell? Right, so I can't be aggressive. Blocking. Whatever, man. Bro, come. Block. Bro. Can you work normally, yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. I had to do to a new server because the other one was fucking. Let me shut up, bro. I am talking too much. What is she doing?
Fine. Whatever. Is everyone out now? Yes. And we're almost done with the Carol.
This is not where I need to be. Okay, here we go.
Brainwash is what you are.
This was crazy. She said, I want a grenade, and they brought her a grenade. Ah. It's all this food coloring, bro. Okay, I guess that's the... Bro, there's no. Oh. What the fuck is he doing? Is he trying to? Oh, they brought food for him. At least they're bringing him food, but like people like that, they're very stubborn, scared to go outside. Let me get out of here. Alright, yo. I'll probably be back tomorrow or something. I don't know. Bye.